Synthaholics.
Welcome to Synthaholics. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me today is not Aaron O'Brien, not Holly Michelle, not Guy Davis. You've never heard this voice before. It is a Brian Banister.
It is I. Brand new to the space.
Brand new, and he also goes by Bran sometimes.
I do go by Bran. He is my favorite Game of Thrones character.
Yes, the the Potato King.
The Potato King.
Long live Potato King.
He must prevail.
He's a vegetable. I just call him a potato. Anyway, today's going to be a little bit different. Brian does not know much about Star Trek.
I don't know anything about Star Trek.
What?
I know Benedict Cumberbatch is in one of the movies.
Benedict Cumberbun, huh?
Yeah.
So, a passion of mine is video games, and also...
it is one of my passions as well. I play a lot of them.
Brian plays video games, too, so we've got this commonality. We met working at my previous employer, the one after the Yahoo.
Yahoo.
And before where I work now. I will not mention either of those companies' names.
Better to keep it on the down low.
Keep it on the down low. It took forever for you to mention Yahoo, but that's in the past considerably now.
The time is over.
Time is over. So, we're going to be talking video games. We both beat Final Fantasy VII. That's going to be our main topic for today. But before that, we're also big Sony fans. Sony had their event. They showed off a lot of PlayStation 5 games and the PlayStation 5. So, my big takeaways from that conference were basically 3 games. Ratchet & Clank, Spider-Man, and Horizon 2. And of the 3, Ratchet & Clank was the only one that looked like it was actually showing off the PlayStation 5's power.
I would agree with you, but I do enjoy more than just 3 of those games that you mentioned. I'm also excited for those 3, but I'm excited for Kena. I don't know the rest of the title of that game.
The sub-titty?
Yes, that one exactly. But it has a great animation. It looks great animation-wise.
I just don't know anything about it, so I'm hesitant to be like, oh, I need this game in my life.
Well, we do need to see more, but it did look pretty.
It was pretty. I will give it that.
That's all I'm basing anything on, is that it looks pretty.
What about that game that's really stretching the PlayStation 5 capabilities? Say Goodbye Volcano High or whatever the hell that was.
What game?
The volcano. It was like hand drawn as dinosaurs. It was like
Wait,
I love you.
Bug Snacks?
No. The Volcano High, the one that were dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, that game.
That game looks like it could run on PS1. Like, why is this on the PS5 thing?
You know, Sony got to a few developers and they're like, "Hey guys, we're looking for a dinosaur game. Can you help us out?" And they're like, "You know what? We want to be a launch title for the PS5. We'll make a dinosaur game."
Is it a launch title? I feel like every single thing that was on that was set for 2021. There was like only...
The only one I can think of is Spider-Man. Miles Morales.
Oh, that's also because it's not even a full game. From what I understand, it's just
not a full game?
No, it's like an expansion pack to original Spider-Man.
It's just an expansion pack?
They're going to re-release it.
Oh,
They're basically re-releasing Spider-Man with the Miles Morales expansion.
You know, I'm okay with that, though. Miles Morales is cool. He turns into a Spider-Man, I guess.
He turns into a Spider-Man. He starts shooting webs at his butt, too. So, I mean, it's great.
I think that's how it works in that one.
Yeah.
That's the only way he can do it.
The butt swing.
He has like a little hole in the back of his suit.
Yeah, strategically placed holes.
It's strategically placed. I will say, after seeing the PlayStation 5, it's at least one better than the PlayStation 4. Because 4 and 5...
What do you mean?
Well, there was the PlayStation 4, and it's one better than the PlayStation 4.
Oh, it is
technically the PlayStation 5.
It is one better. Well, I thought you were talking about the design. I was like, what? I don't understand what you mean.
The design doesn't bother me at all.
I mean, it's got the big glossy white side on it, so I'm probably going to stick a Cyberpunk 2077 logo on that.
Now that game. I'm all on board with that game.
If it's not vaporware, I'm on board with that game.
It's going to be vaporware. It's going to be amazing. This game is going to live up 75% of everybody's hype. It's going to give 75% of what everybody wants. Because there's always it's so hyped.
Isn't it going to give 77% of what everyone wants?
It's going to give 77%. 77% of what everybody wants is how well that game's going to perform.
Or is it going to be 20% of what everyone wants?
It won't be 20%.
Well, they did announce the cars are not customizable, so maybe that'll be a DLC. We get customizable cars.
It'll be a DLC for $77.
The $77
The
$77
DLC for a car.
Ouch.
I mean, they did just show more footage of that, and it seems like there's a lot baked into that game that they've been working on for years and years that I don't think any other game that I can think of in recent memory is even close to having something that they have with what they're doing.
Skyrim
and the interactions
mods.
And stuff.
Skyrim mods.
Okay, well,
Mods do everything.
Skyrim mods can't be... There's nothing close to Skyrim mods. Nothing can come close to that at all. There's like multiple games within Skyrim now.
It's true. And Fallout 4. And now it seems like GTA is also taking the same path because I think that was I know that was a launch title for PlayStation 3. And it's not, no. It was a closing title for PlayStation 3.
Oh, it was a closing title.
It was a launch title for PlayStation 4, and guess what? Grand Theft Auto 5 is also going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5. Wow,
Which
Rockstar,
I'm totally against.
way too underwhelmed.
Well, it's like as soon as they were pumping out a GTA game every few years, and then as soon as they introduced microtransactions, they don't really make games anymore.
They don't. Did they even make a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5? Isn't it just Grand Theft Auto 5 and then just the online?
I think there's like a gambling lottery type of DLC.
But there's no story DLC like Grand Theft Auto 4 had.
I don't believe so. I'm sure somebody's listening and now they're yelling at us because we're wrong, but
I don't remember. I mean, I was looking at the Steam page today. I did not notice any DLC. There's no Ballad of Gay Tony 2 that I'm aware of.
No, there's not, but there are mods.
There are lots of mods. Yes, I've seen the Incredible Hulk run around inside the Grand Theft Auto 5, so there definitely are mods.
There are mods, so there's got to be more story somewhere that somebody made. It's just not canon. It's just not canon at all.
People are making mods for the good games. Man, I'm so excited for Cyberpunk 2077 on PC, because people will probably just mod in car customizations.
Oh, I can't wait till they mod in, like, super nudity. Add that in.
Isn't that going to be like from the default, since you can like choose, like you choose as like non-binary and you can just add genitalia or take away genitalia at whim?
Yes, but I feel like they're not going to take it as far as I want to take it.
Well, there's nudity in the Witcher games.
But not enough.
Oh, there's always mods for adding more. Thank you, Skyrim mods, and thank you, Fallout 4 mods.
Well, if memory serves me accurately, Lady Gaga is supposed to be in the game.
Uh-oh.
And she said she didn't want to be nude.
Oh, that's going to be fixed.
That'll be fixed.
That's a day one patch.
That's a day one patch.
Day one mod.
Day one mod.
All right, guys, we found out where the Lady Gaga files are. Her clothes are now removed.
Now perma banned. Perma banned on
Don't
that.
ban. Lady Gaga herself is going to ban me. She's going to call me. And she's going to sing sweet nothings about how I shouldn't have unmodded her clothes.
Okay, we'll keep him. We'll just make him sheer. How about that?
I'm okay with that.
See, that way
everybody's happy. Though.
Everyone wins.
Lady
Gaga isn't technically naked.
I get what I want. Lady Gaga gets what she wants. She has clothes on.
Yes.
No matter if I can see through them or not.
Yeah, that's the perfect solution.
It's fine. And then we'll make her like
problems.
eat meat because she probably doesn't. She doesn't like meat or something.
Well, she just uses meat as clothing.
Meat. Yes. Transparent meat.
Transparent meat clothing.
Could she wear transparent meat clothing?
I mean, I'm sure you could tatter it enough. Someone's pretty. Can we cut micro thin slices?
I think we're onto something. You want to learn how to mod stuff? We could figure out how to mod her clothes so they're meat and
real life
see through.
Clothes?
No, not her real life clothes. In the game clothes.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's mod them into meat clothes and then make them see through.
Oh, that's right. So we're going to take 16 steps instead of just the one.
Yes. We will take all the steps.
Modders out there, if any modders listen to this, you've been given the task.
There's a task out there.
Are you up for it?
You can reach me.
Pre-make this. We got time.
Make it now.
Make it now.
Start today.
Start today.
So we're good before the game even comes
So
out.
you just got to figure out what file to export it as once the game comes out, once it's been hacked, and then you're good to go. Lady Gaga files, day one.
Day one. Can't see anything wrong with it, and make sure they're compatible with Xbox and PlayStation as well. Just because they don't get all the fun stuff.
Well, I mean, I think it's up to the developer if there's mods for that. On the PC, they just pretty much happens.
I don't think nobody's really got a choice if there's going to be a mod on PC or not.
Yeah.
You can't lock it down very much.
No, not.
Well, moving off of Cyberpunk, I want to talk about bug snacks.
Bug snacks? Where you eat bugs and you turn into snacks? Your strawberry arms or whatever? Is that your most anticipated PlayStation 5 title?
Absolutely. I will be getting it day one, I want to live as a strawberry. Because I saw a strawberry in the trailer.
So what is life as a strawberry like?
Well, I'll tell you. You don't live very long because you go rotten pretty quick, especially when it's hot out. You just kind of shrivel up. So you got to really spread your seeds as fast as you can.
Oh, so you're just jizzing all over everything, right?
Yes, all over the other bugs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then they turn into, it's just like a zombie type thing where everybody just turns into a strawberry.
It's a zombie apocalypse of strawberries. That's
Exactly. See, you're on my train of thought here.
Gotcha.
I know what you're talking about. Now, another game that I'm excited for, kind of, sort of, maybe, is Ghostwire Tokyo. What are your thoughts on Ghostwire Tokyo?
Skip it.
Skip it?
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't want to fight Slenderman using Zenyatta? Because it's a first-person game, and he makes, hand movements, and it looks like Zenyatta.
I don't really play Zenyatta in Overwatch. Like I said, I can skip this one. I skip Zenyatta as it is in Overwatch.
You skip Zenyatta?
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
You don't want to be the Zenyatta
I'll
boy?
just be Moira or Mercy. I don't need Zenyatta in my life.
Those ones, they're not in Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh,
only Zenyatta.
Then I don't care about the Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's fair enough.
Can we get Tracer Lessing out?
It's gonna have to be a mod.
A mod, no. Or maybe the ghosts.
The ghosts, maybe.
Maybe you can. It's like Luigi's Mansion. Just break in on them. It's like, oh, we're just minding our own business, doing our own thing, and just vacuum them up.
That sounds like a plan to me. Is there a mod going to be a mod for that? I'll put it.
There's got to be Luigi's Mansion mod for Ghostwire Tokyo.
You just vacuum up everything.
It's just
instead of killing
photorealistic looking. Oh, look at John Leguizamo from the Mario movie.
Exactly.
They'll just scan him in. And
scan him in. He's the actor.
He can be Luigi in the.
He can be Luigi.
Because he was already Luigi, and then he can be in. They can mod him into Ghostwire Tokyo and give him a vacuum cleaner, and then it's Luigi's Mansion, semi photorealistic. That'd be great.
And it takes place in Tokyo, where Luigi's from.
Come on, Mario. Come on, Nintendo.
They need to figure this out. Get together with Bethesda. I know Bethesda; they're not doing the greatest right now, but Nintendo, they could bring them up. They could bring them up for sure. And you got to throw in Waluigi in there too, just because he's.
Who would play Waluigi?
I will.
All right.
I'll dress the part.
There we go.
I'll show up, and I'll get in mocap.
You'll mocap
and I'll just go.
Gotcha.
Just over and over again.
Well, that works. But I think that's good enough for news right now. There's lots of stuff coming on the horizon. PlayStation 5.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on the horizon. You're right.
Yeah, Horizon Zero. I'm still finishing the first one. I got to finish the first one before the second one comes out, but I'm pretty sure that'll be fine. I know Sony's pushing for PS5 to be out this year, but I mean, it's riot season and coronavirus season and all the different other kind of seasons that are happening. Oh, isn't it like giant dust storm from the Sahara season coming soon?
I think it's here this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
It's gonna. I think everywhere in the South is gonna be affected by it.
Okay, so. Them rejecting the idea of wearing masks is going to go great when there's a dust storm going on.
Yeah, because they'll just breathe in dust and become like a sand monster.
It's like clean air.
It's cleaner air than normal.
Yeah,
it doesn't have coronavirus in it.
Yeah, it's just sand.
It's just sand.
It's got camel pee in it and all this other stuff.
Camel pee?
Don't camels walk in the sand and pee in the sand?
Do camels roam wild in the Sahara?
Maybe.
How do they get camels? Where do they? I've never seen a camel in the wild.
I haven't. I've only seen them in movies.
But I don't really live in an area.
So they were invented just for movies. They don't really exist.
They don't actually exist.
They're like dinosaurs. You only see them in the movies.
Dinosaurs didn't exist. They're only in the movies. You've seen Jurassic Park, haven't you?
Jurassic Park, yes.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. That's That's where they came from. That's where they started.
Oh, that's where the dinosaurs were invented.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Steven Spielberg did it.
Steven, you're a genius.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He showed up, he worked on it his whole life, and he made dinosaurs. That's the whole point of the new Jurassic Park series, bringing back dinosaurs.
Again.
Because Steven Spielberg killed all of them.
We must make dinosaurs great again.
We must make them great again.
Poor Chris Pratt.
You know, he's going to be okay, man. He's got a few dollars to his name.
He'll live.
He's got a few dollars. It's going to work out great for him.
It'll work out great.
I can't see any reason why it wouldn't.
So the main topic I wanted to talk about today is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've beaten it recently. Yeah, I'm way behind the times. For anyone out there who's probably played it and beaten it ages ago.
They'll beat it day one, even though it's like a 30-hour game. They'll figure it out somehow.
Man, I put like 50 hours into it before I beat the final boss.
I put about 50 hours into it too.
So just from here on out, consider spoilers for Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII Remake. Just don't be upset if you haven't finished playing the game. If you haven't finished playing the game, you don't want to know.
Everybody's finished the game by now. We're just slow.
I am the slowest
We're
person.
just
I am really slow.
Players.
But you never know with Star Trek. Some people haven't seen episodes years after they come out, so you never know.
So when somebody tells you Final Fantasy VII Remake, first thing that comes into your head, what do you got? First thing.
Before the game came out or after the game came out?
Let's go with after. After you played it. Right now, first thing. I say Final Fantasy VII Remake, what's your first thought?
It was a good game. I wish there was more than just Midgar. I feel like the game had some bloat, but those negative things said, I still feel like it's the best Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And Final Fantasy VII, the original, was my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. Nothing has come close to it in quality until now.
I've recently played the original, and it is still a fantastic game. Although, the mechanics are a little weird and the graphics aren't that great. The story still stands, though.
Oh, the story... I mean, the original Final Fantasy VII, the storytelling is the pinnacle of video game storytelling. Nothing has come close, except for maybe like the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
Mass Effect trilogy is great, especially Mass Effect 2 where you make all the decisions and kill off your team or not.
Yep.
I mean, the 3 drops the ball, Andromeda drops the ball a lot. But the original trilogy, more than not, it doesn't stick the landing, but everything up until the landing is fantastic.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with the story on that.
And the fact that you can carry over your characters from game to game to game to game. And I'm really hoping there'll be some kind of character transfer thing coming for Final Fantasy VII Remake 2, if they even make a Final Fantasy VII Remake 2.
Well, it originally was shown in E3 2004. So they were working on that game for a long time.
Well, no, they showed a tech. It
was a tech demo.
They showed a tech demo, which they said they weren't actually actively working on a game.
But it was in their minds.
Well, I mean, fans literally have been begging for a Final Fantasy VII Remake since before Final Fantasy VIII came out.
Did it live up?
Well, because yes and no. Like in one way, I would have kind of wished they would have just expanded the game a little bit and made it a single game. The fact that they're expanding the game into an unknown number of parts is depressing and uncertain and exciting in a way, but am I going to be alive by the time they're done with it?
No.
That's trouble. I'd like to finish a remake and see it from beginning to end, and I'm just...
Well, how many games do you want there to be in a perfect world? For the remake series.
I mean, like, if the first part went beyond Midgar, 3 would be great, but I can't see 3 being enough.
I can't see 3 realistically coming out by, honestly, like 2030 something.
Yeah, I don't. But I mean, like, how many do you think that it would take to finish the game? Because just Midgar, that's like a 10th-ish
Yeah, there's
of the original game.
Yes, that is true.
That's like 6 hours. The game was 40-something hours.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot they still got to do. There's no getting away around it.
And then Nomura, is it Nomura?
Nomura, what are you talking about?
The creator, is he?
Yes.
Isn't Nomura the one that's saying like, oh, don't. The ending, we're not going to stray too far away from Final Fantasy. Just imagine that it's going to keep going the way it's always gone. So, like, what's the point of doing such a drastically crazy ending if you're just going to keep going the way it's been going?
Well, I think, unfortunately, I think they're going to turn into this timey-windy, wibbly-wobbly type of thing because now that the Kingdom Hearts director is all over it, that's kind of what he does, because Kingdom Hearts is like an incoherent mess.
Yeah, my words exactly. Incoherent mess. I don't understand what they're doing.
I don't know what's going on in that game.
So it's like we're going to keep the original story, but we're just going to convolute everything around the original story.
It's going to make it a lot more complicated.
We're going to make it a lot more complicated. And none of the complications matter because the story is going to still be exactly the same as it was, but we're just adding complications for the sake of complications.
And towards the end of the game, that's kind of how I felt it was heading towards.
Yeah.
With Sephiroth and...
I really wish they didn't blow their Sephiroth load. Because, I mean, I'm scared Square Enix might just be like, oh, that was enough. We remade the game. You had your final showdown with Sephiroth. You saw the meteor. You beat him. And that's all we're going to do. Like, I'm scared. They could do that. And they'd have a lot of fan outcry, a lot of pissed offness. But they could literally do that because they blew their entire load with the Final Fantasy VII Remake by having Sephiroth be such a big part during Midgar.
So do you think they're not going to use him anymore? Or
Oh, I mean, they're gonna have to use him, but I mean, but it's just gonna be like, it just seems like it's gonna be. I mean, if you fight him at the end of every single game, and if there's like 6 games or 7 or 10 or games,
you just slowly get closer and closer.
Do you just keep killing him over and over and over, or are they just gonna make like 16 Sephiroth and just killing each Sephiroth clone? And then at the very end, when you kill him, he like smiles, like he dies in a cutscene,
like he knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, so like
it kind of leads into like he knew what he was. It seemed like he knew what was gonna happen as well as Aerith. She seemed like she knew what was going to happen before the final boss of fighting Sephiroth.
Well, she knew what was going on the entire time, because every time she interacted with somebody who they haven't met yet, the screen would do that glitch out thing.
Exactly.
And then people would like calm down, or like things were it's like she's manipulating the timeline.
Yeah, something's happening with her. Now, what find it funny to me is she died in the original.
Yes.
But she didn't die in this one.
But we're not even close to the part where she isn't gonna get killed.
But she still died at the first one, not this one. They still got more story to go with her, though. I don't know why I even said that.
It's because you had a drink with Everclear in it a little while ago.
It's working my way through the system. It's working its way through my system.
The Synthaholics way, absolutely. So with Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was a beautifully redone game. The mechanics were fantastic. It felt the most Final Fantasy out of any of the Final Fantasy action-oriented games
that have come out recently.
Since they've switched from turn-based to 12 was the first time.
Yep.
It was, it was getting away from being turn-based, where like you just kind of programmed your character's actions.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 13, your other 2 characters played themselves. You just told them what class to play. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 15, you only really played Noctis, and you could unlock the ability like halfway through the game to actually use your other characters. But by then, it's like, what's the point?
Well, there is no point.
What's the point? Like you're
so strong.
You're so used to just playing just Noctis.
There's no point in switching. Yeah. It's like playing your starter Pokemon all the way through the game without switching, because he just gets so strong. I don't know if that's a fair comparison, but that's the first thing that came to my head. I mean,
it's close enough. I mean, it's fair for Pokemon fans out there. But yeah, it's just Final Fantasy 15. But then Final Fantasy VII Remake, like there's reason to switch the characters. You have to switch because the AI is stupid. I think the AI is stupid on purpose. So you have you have to switch your characters. Like they do enough to like,
you take enough damage where you have to switch anyways. At least when I was playing it, that was the issue I was having. Yeah. I couldn't just stay on one character the whole time because they need healing and whatnot. And
yeah, but like once you got used to switching, it just felt right,
natural.
It felt amazing, and it even though it's action oriented, it still felt like a Final Fantasy game, like an old turn based game. This is the close to the feeling of old Final Fantasy, and that's entirely refreshing. And if future Final Fantasy games use this style of combat, where switching is demanding, but also fair.
It's not as pleasant as well, switching before now. At least that's the way I felt about it.
Oh, it was a pain. In 12, it was a pain using all your characters.
Yes.
The game actively wanted you not to do that because it was such a pain in the ass.
I didn't want to do it.
And in 13, you couldn't
Yep.
And in 15 you could, and 14 was online. We don't talk about that.
No, I never played that
I
one.
never played it either, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, but 7 was
Perfect. Perfect game.
as far as the combat goes. As far as the game goes, they definitely
Took some cuts.
padded parts of that game. Going back in the Don Corneo sewer a second time,
Yes.
like fighting the same bosses again.
Yes.
Like that was just like, oh wait, like none of this was necessary.
It felt like it was just filler to make the game longer.
It was.
Just give me the meat and potatoes.
It was absolutely
I
filler.
want the meat and potatoes.
Like, the game could have ended at a nice cliffhanger.
That would have been nice.
In Nibelheim.
That sounds good to me.
That would have been nice. You have like the flashback with like Tifa getting cut down, but you see that like right during the second reactor, right?
Yeah.
The second reactor when
Yeah.
Tifa's with you. You
Yep.
see her like the flashback where she's like going after Sephiroth with the sword. Like that would have been a great like cliffhanger, especially having her getting cut down, and like that's like the end.
I don't think they would have ended the game right then. Well, that was somewhat still early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a city or two after Midgar in the original game, but still, that's still further than Midgar. Like, get us a taste of the world. Let's see the Chocobo Ranch.
Enough.
Let's get Cloud's flashback and his false story. Because I mean, like, Cloud hasn't spilled the beans yet, and like,
No, he hasn't.
and Tifa is way more timid of a character in this game. It's weird, like
They changed her a little bit.
like she's like Aerith's personality and Tifa's personality were switched.
Exactly.
Because I always figured like Tifa would be more outspoken. I mean, she like hid, she didn't speak out to protect Cloud's feelings in the original game at the exposition dump after you get out of Midgar in the original game. But she's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to say that.
Well, the vibe I got from Aerith is that she was more wholesome in this game, and Tifa was more like the slutty one. That's how I felt about it.
In this game,
Yeah, in the new game.
I thought Tifa was like sad and unspoken. I thought
You thought Tifa was more wholesome than
Yeah.
Aerith?
Aerith is like, yeah, let's get together. Like she's like all prodding into his personal life, and Tifa's just like, oh well, you can live next to me, but it's fine. Like I don't know. I think
Okay.
Aerith. If you're talking about sluts, you should talk about Jessie. Jessie was like,
Jessie wanted Cloud.
come over to my house and
Now.
put your dick into me tonight.
Do it now.
Do it now. Yeah, like
I'm not letting you leave.
you're not letting you. So like, I thought she was the most slutty. Aerith was second, and Tifa was third.
Really?
Yeah, because Tifa wasn't like all about like she got like hurt when Aerith was around, but she wasn't all ready to jump Cloud's bone. Like
Maybe it's just because of the way Tifa looks.
Tifa's just hot.
That's probably why.
But the thing is, like they changed Aerith's design. Her gown is a little more flowy in this one, and it was a lot tighter.
She's more covered up.
In the original character design, she was a lot had a lot tighter dress.
Yes.
So
she
it was sort of more slutty in the original,
Yeah.
even though it was like 2 polygons. No, but if you look at the
We get
character,
2 polygons this time.
2 polygons, yeah. But if you look at the art, I mean, her dress is a lot tighter in the original game.
It is.
in the art than it is in the thing.
It
and
is.
Tifa's technically more covered up because she's got the long leg stockings.
Yes. But
And the sports bra.
I like her in
Tiny
the new
fluctuate.
game.
I like her in the new game too. And so many people complained that her breasts were too small in the cover art. And look,
It's fine.
after playing the game, she's good.
It's fine. It's fine.
She's a-okay.
It's-
Yeah, let's.
You're not going to hear me complaining.
No, she looks great. I love playing Tifa too. I love the action fighting style combat. that
I
she's
leaned
got.
towards playing her the most, I'm pretty sure. I liked punching.
Oh yeah, it was a lot. It was a
I don't
lot
know
of fun.
why. I just was like, oh, she's a puncher.
Well, she was quicker than
Cloud.
Cloud and Barrett. Barrett's slow,
Barrett was very slow.
but he can take hits like nothing else.
Although, I thought Barrett, out of all the main characters, looked the best, graphically wise.
They did such a good job with his character model and
All the
everything,
main
yeah.
characters are fantastic, but I thought Barrett was the best.
Barrett's really good. I mean, like, it's weird. Like, their quality changes, especially at the end of the game. Like, they use different character models.
It's like some stuff was rushed, while other stuff was not. There was one scene when Cloud is at Aerith's house for the first time, and he goes to talk to her at night, and they're in the flower field that Aerith has, and those flowers, 2005 flowers.
Most of the textures, like walking through the junkyard when you're like in chapter
Yep,
9 and
those
chapter
are bad. 14,
just walking back and forth through them, they look like awful. Like when you look up at the Midgar plates and stuff, like when things that are far away look great.
Oh yeah,
because they're not right
They're
next
far
to you.
away.
But when all the textures close to you look terrible. I don't know what they were doing with this game. With
it's
the
like it
textures.
seemed some of it was rushed, but some of it wasn't. I don't understand.
They
Like
spent so long on
I
this
know,
game.
but what was there's no reason behind it. I can't think of a reasonable one.
I don't know. I cannot tell you why they spent so long on this game. They only gave us Midgar, and it's relatively short for a Final Fantasy game. And they retreaded the exact same area for 2 boss fights.
Yes, they did do that.
And the same boss.
Same boss.
All they did was add mini ones in there to go along with it. It was bizarre choices that they made, and the textures just look awful. And the game was like 89 gigs or whatever.
It was a huge game.
Where is all the gigs going?
I pretty much beat the game, and I bet I could make the game for about 5 gigs. No, but I mean, it really was a really large game, even for today's standards. Some of the games are getting big, but that one was one of the larger ones that come out, and I don't know where it went. There were a lot of cutscenes, so that could be where it was going.
I guess, but a lot of the cutscenes were
they were kind of simple. They weren't
they were-
except for the ending. The ending cutscene.
endings were crazy.
That probably took months to make.
Oh, I think even the ending fight looked better than the rest of the game.
Yeah, the last 15-20 minutes of the game, I would imagine.
I think that's where
months.
I think that's where 50 gigs went.
That 50 gigs, 77 gigs. That's where 77 gigs were.
Yeah, 77, and the last fight and those last cutscenes at the end, they were very impressive.
They were very impressive, and I want to watch it again, but I don't want to beat the whole game, so I'm going to use YouTube.
Well, I'm planning on eventually trying. I want to platinum trophy this game. I want to.
You want a platinum trophy?
I want to platinum trophy it. I want to see all of Tifa's slutty dresses.
You better start playing right now.
Well, no, I think it'll be fine. We've got 3 years probably before the next part comes out. Probably,
Yeah, so you better start playing now.
Probably minimum.
So you better start playing now.
People have already platinumed it. It'll be fine. I'll have time. I gotta finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I gotta finish Doom before I play Doom Eternal. Got lots of stuff I want to play.
Well, there's always tons of stuff to play. It's just, do we have time to play them or not? That's the golden ticket right there.
Yeah, that's true. So, overall thoughts about Final Fantasy VII. Are you excited for Part 2?
Absolutely, I'm excited for it. I don't know when it's coming out, but we've already talked about that. But the Part 2...
What do you think Part 2 will entail? So we're starting as soon as you get out of Midgar. How far do you think they'll go? I mean, I think the ideal part, personally, is Junion. End at Junion.
I was going to say the exact same thing, so thanks for copying me. But, yeah, no, that's probably where they're going to end up. I can't imagine they're really going to go anywhere with... I mean, it really depends how many games they end up planning on making in the first part. If they make 3 games, I would say that's probably a good spot where they're going to end at. But if they're going to make like 6, I don't think they're going to make it that far. They spent the whole game in Midgar.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really a question. And the developers don't even know how many games it's going to be. Nomura doesn't know. He won't give us any clear answers.
Well, there's somebody that knows exactly what's going on.
I don't think so.
You don't even. The people making the game don't even know.
No, I mean, from everything I've read about it, it's a wonder the game came out as good as it did.
You know, I'm always on board though.
Oh, I mean, I love Final Fantasy, and you mentioned like Final Fantasy 16 a couple weeks ago to me. I'm like, they better not be announcing Final Fantasy 16 because it's still got so many more parts of Final Fantasy 7 to go.
I'm starting to see articles. I'm starting to see them.
I'm seeing YouTube videos, and I don't want to see them.
They're popping up, man.
No, Final Fantasy 7. That comes first. Stop it.
No, you don't got. That's not coming first.
Stop it.
I don't think it's coming first.
You gotta finish Final Fantasy VII Remake before you put out a Final Fantasy.
They did finish
16.
the game remake.
Final the game remake.
Final the game remake. Second game in series.
Ugh.
I don't know. I feel like that's not like a. It's like not. It's like a more of a fan project. I think more than like a new game. I feel like a lot of people that played the original are playing this game, and that's kind of like a side burner as far as Final Fantasy games go.
How is this a side project?
I think it is a side project.
How?
It took so long to come out.
But also, they're also talking about making a bajillion parts for it. You don't dump that kind of money and investment into a side project. This is a huge
Yeah.
undertaking. This game is going to be, if it's 6 parts, it's going to be longer than any Final Fantasy game I'll put together.
Oh, for
like
sure.
in 50 years, when they finished making them all and they put them all into one Crystal Skull memory drive or whatever it is, so it can take
Diamond plated.
so it can take all the petabytes, all the parts of it'll be.
Oh man, a game that's a petabyte.
All the parts of the remake put together will probably be a petabyte.
Maybe.
Especially if they remaster it and like fix the textures in the first
All
part.
of them. It would be about a petabyte.
They put it all on the one Crystal Skull drive, the couple petabyte drive, and then you can play the game in your PlayStation 12
It's the only way to do it, I think.
or on your PC, which will be an ARM-based PC by then.
It will be an ARM based. We might be past ARM by the time it comes out.
Who
I don't know
knows?
what's after ARM.
I don't know. x86 has been around for a long time. I don't know if we're gonna.
It has been out for a long time, but ARM's just starting, and I don't know. The computer space is kind of dedicated. They always figure out a way to like bounce back and keep it going. I mean, they've been around since like the 70s. And they only got better.
Well, I mean, the next thing to go on is going to be probably graphene chips. They've been talking about graphene chips.
They've been talking about that for 10 years.
For 10 years, and they still haven't come yet, or not in any reproducible way that's for the public yet.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. I don't think we're going to get any quantum computers yet, or whatever those ones are called, where you need like
Massive liquid cooling,
liquid hydrogen,
liquid nitrogen, yeah,
nitrogen, whatever the heck they use.
giant facilities.
That's what you're going to need to be able to run the Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
You need that both 1 and 0 spot.
Yeah, exactly. It takes up so much space.
It's a Schrodinger's gate. Is it open or closed? We don't know.
We don't look. You look, you find out.
You don't want to know. So quantum computing is
Quantum
Schrodinger's
computer
gate.
Final Fantasy. They're probably working on it right now.
But you know what the Final Fantasy I want most?
You tell me.
Final Fantasy 30.
Final Fantasy 30.
XXX.
Okay, well, we're going to have to get a hold of the developers. We'll get a hold of them and we'll let them know. David wants this.
We need Final Fantasy 30 before I die, please.
You'll get it before you die.
I need Final Fantasy 30, the really good Final Fantasy 30, where it's all the girls from all the series all in one game, and butts, because you got to have butts.
Why not boobs? Why not both?
Oh no, the character butts. Remember butts from Final Fantasy V?
Oh my gosh.
Butts.
Okay, fine.
Butts has got to be like the main guy.
He's the main character.
A final, and then all the girls from all the fan. It's like a weird crossover. It's like Dasigia or whatever it's called, but for like hentai.
Final Fantasy 30 XXX is just a hentai game.
Hopefully.
It's a visual novel.
It's got to be an interactive novel because you got to
I mean, how interactive?
like very interactive.
Super interactive. Next gen technology interactive. We're talking PlayStation 7.
We're talking VR.
We're talking-
interactive.
PlayStation 77. We're talking
Cyber
PlayStation.
PlayStation Punk 77.
That sounds great to me.
Oh man, maybe by 2077 we'll have the Final Fantasy complete.
I think we
remake.
will. I'm confident.
Hopefully before then.
There's no way we could go wrong.
Yeah. The world may find a way. I don't know.
It always does.
It always does. Well, I guess that's all we have to say about Final Fantasy VII. It was a great game. Definitely recommend it. Can't wait for the
Absolutely.
second one. Our favorite Final Fantasy game since the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
What did you think of this experiment in podcasting? This is totally outside the bounds of how we normally podcast. No TV episode, no movie episode. We're talking video games and tech stuff and geek stuff. That's more on the interactive entertainment side.
Now this is out of your comfort zone of what you normally do. Now this is completely out of my comfort zone. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into even being here right now. I had no idea what I was expecting. I've never done anything like this before.
How was your podcast virginity being popped?
My virginity's gone and I'll never get it back. But
Thanks, Dave, for taking it.
You took my virginity, David. It's taken away from me.
Your first.
I was saving it for marriage.
You were saving.
I was saving my podcast virginity for marriage.
What were you going to podcast with your wife about?
Sex.
Oh, a sex podcast.
Yeah, we were going to get real big into that space.
Well, you could.
It's an untapped market.
I mean, technically. Tap that ass, back that ass.
Exactly.
No, so I mean, technically, that could be your first marriage podcast.
Yeah, about sex.
Or your first sex podcast. We don't have to do a sex podcast.
Can there be video?
I mean,
I don't see why not.
I don't know if YouTube will let you do that.
I mean, there's other ways to upload stuff. It doesn't have to just be on YouTube.
You're gonna do Pornhub podcast?
Porno. Has that been done before?
I don't know.
I'm breaking new grounds.
Okay, well that can be
This opened up new grounds to me.
new grounds.
Yeah, it was fun though. I've never done anything like this.
Oh, thank you for coming on and joining us. I mean, we were down a couple people, and I don't know if I'm good enough to monologue for a podcast. I don't know if I want to subject our listeners to that. So we're like, we've been wanting to talk about video games for a while,
For a long time.
and record.
I mean, we've brought it up. I don't know how many times we should do a podcast.
Yeah. So, do you guys like this kind of content? Is video games your kind of thing? Let us know, because we might be inclined to do some more video game centric podcasts in the future with Brian and myself. So let us know. You can email us at synthaholics@yahoo.com. You can join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Synthaholics. You can tweet at us at Synthaholic Duo. Check us out on Instagram at Synthaholics Podcast, I believe. Or, I can't remember what it is, but you've seen it before. You can check out.
They've seen it. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah, Synthaholic.
You're approaching 100 million followers
absolutely.
now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got all the followers on
Yeah.
on the Insta. So you can come check us out there on the Instagram. And, check us out. Aaron and Holly will be back next week, I believe. So we'll be jumping back into the Expanse Season 2.
Thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining me, Brian. It was fun. I've been dying to talk about Final Fantasy VII with somebody.
Me too, man. Me too.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Kate Sith out.
We'll see you next time.
Well, McCoy, my boy, come mix me a drink. Before the night's over, I'll puke in the sink, and we'll cry till we laugh, and we'll both shit our pants. You're the best drinking friend I ever had.
That was a podcast.
Never done that before.
Oh.
That was weird, man.
That was weird. Why was it weird?
I don't know. It's just... It felt like there was... Like, as soon as you give somebody a mic, it's like there's more pressure than just you or me talking. Without a mic. Same thing if you put a camera on somebody. All of a sudden they, like, turn into, like, a timid person.
A timid person.
Something like that.
You're tapping the thing again. It's a shorter podcast. We went 40-something minutes, but also, like, we're just, like, riffing and freebirding.
Yeah, I also have no idea what I'm doing.
Stop it!